Bahamas at the 2008 Summer Olympics. The Bahamas sent a delegation of athletes to compete in the 2008 Summer Olympics, which were held in Beijing, People's Republic of China from 8 to 24 August 2008. Its Beijing appearance marked its 14th time at the Olympics since its debut at the 1952 Summer Olympics in Helsinki. The delegation included 25 athletes across 4 sports: track and field, boxing, swimming and tennis, and 19 distinct events. Its athletes advanced to semifinals in 8 events and finals in 5 events, medaling in 2 of them: a silver in men's 4x100 meters relay by Andretti Bain, Mathieu, Andrae Williams, Chris Brown, Avard, Moncur, and Ramon, and a bronze in men's triple jump by Leevan Sands. The Bahamian delegation was one of the largest sent between its debut and 2008. The country's flag bearer was Debbie Ferguson-McKenzie. Background: before Beijing, the Bahamas had participated in the Summer Olympics 13 times. This included every single Summer Olympics starting from the 1952 Summer Olympics in Helsinki, Finland, but excluding the 1980 Summer Olympics in Moscow, the Soviet Union. The Bahamas had, as of 2008, never had an appearance in any Winter Olympics. The Bahamian delegation in Beijing included 25 athletes, one of its largest delegations in its history up to that point. Prior to Beijing, Bahamian athletes had won 4 gold medals, 1 silver, and 4 bronze, a total of 9 medals. Bahamas delegation in Beijing added 1 silver and 1 bronze medal to the tally, increasing the total number of Bahamian medals to 11. The flag bearer at ceremonies was Debbie Ferguson-McKenzie. The Bahamian delegation was 41st in line during the flag-bearing ceremonies. Bahamian Olympic coach Keith Parker, prior to the start of the Olympic track events, said that Derek Atkins held a strong chance of medaling in his events, having considered Atkins' unexpected medaling at the 2007 World Championships, tying Jamaica's Asafa Powell and the United States' Tyson Gay for second place. Similar expectations were held for Chris Brown. Henry Rolle, the track coach at Auburn University, traveled to Beijing to train former athletes at Tianjin University. Several Bahamians were included in this group. Medalists: athletics, men's competition. 11 male athletes competed in track and field events on behalf of the Bahamas. Of those athletes, 3 participated in the 4x100 meters relay only: Williams, Moncur, Miller. 5 participated only in events other than the 4x100 meters relay: Atkins, Rolle, L. Sands, S. Sands, and Thomas, and 3 participated in both an individual event and the 4x100 meters relay. Of the individual events, Bahamian athletes were involved in 6 distinct events: 100 meters, 40 meters, 200 meters, triple jump, 110 meters hurdles, and high jump. The 2 Bahamian medals won at Beijing were won by men in track and field events: 4x100 meters relay and triple jump. Men's high jump: Donald Thomas was the sole Bahamian athlete participating in the men's high jump event of the Beijing Olympics. During the event's qualification round on 17 August, Thomas was placed in the first heat versus competitors that included the Czech Republic's Jaroslav Baba and Great Britain's Jermaine Mason. Thomas' best height cleared during this preliminary round was 2.20 meters, the same height as Israeli Nikita Pally, Pole Mikkel Bionic, Syrian Majd Alden Gazel, and American Dusty Jonas. However, Thomas tied Pally for 12th place and scored ahead of Bionic, Gazel, and Jonas because Pally and Thomas had no misses at the high jump bar. The other 3 athletes did. Overall, Thomas tied Ukrainian Dmytro Deminiak and also Pally for 21st place out of the 40 competing athletes. Thomas did not advance to the final round. Men's 200 meters, 100 meters. Jamil Rolle competed on behalf of the Bahamas in the men's 200 meters. Roll was placed in the seventh heat of 8 heats during the 17 August qualification round, facing competitors that included the Dutch Antoline Sharandi Martina, Azerbaijani Ramil Giliev, and Nigerian Abena Mathieu. Roll ranked 5th out of 8 athletes in his heat after completing his event in 20.93 seconds. Roll scored ahead of 6th place finalist Shingo Tsugu of Japan and behind 4th place finalist Sandro Vaiano of Brazil, falling 0.9 seconds behind the latter. Overall, Roll ranked 34th out of the 66 athletes who participated in the first round. He did not progress to further rounds. Men's 110 meters hurdles. Auburn University graduate Shamar Sands reached the quarterfinals in the 110-meter hurdles. During the qualification round on 17 August, Sands was placed in the second heat, facing competitors that included America's David Oliver and Spain's Jackson Quinones. Sands ranked 3rd out of 7 athletes, completing his event in 13.45 seconds. He placed 0.4 seconds behind second-place heat finalist Quinones and 0.15 seconds behind heat leader Oliver. Overall, Sands ranked 8th out of the 43 athletes who participated in the qualification round. Sands progressed to quarterfinals, where he was again placed in the second heat. Completing the event with a time of 13.55 seconds, Sands ranked 7th in the heat of 8 athletes behind South Korea's Lee Jeong-jun and ahead of Georgia's David Ilariani. Sands fell behind heat leader Dayron Robles of Cuba by 0.36 seconds and did not progress further. Men's 100 meters. Jamaican-born runner Derek Atkins was the only Bahamian to participate in the men's 100 meters race at the Beijing Olympics. Atkins was placed in the 8th heat during the 14 August qualification round, facing athletes that included Russia's Andrea Pishin and Norway's Jaisuma Seti Indur. Atkins ranked first in his heat of 8 athletes with a time of 10.28 seconds, defeating second-place heat finalist Pishin by 0.6 seconds. Of the 80 athletes who participated in the qualification round of the event, Atkins tied Cuban Genrys Vizcaino for 18th place. He advanced to quarterfinals on 15 August. At quarterfinals, Atkins participated in the 5th heat against athletes that included Walter Dix of the United States and Asafa Powell of Jamaica. Atkins finished in 3rd place in his heat with a time of 10.14 seconds, falling behind Walter Dix, who ranked 2nd with a time of 10.8 seconds and placing ahead of Antigua and Barbuda's Daniel Bailey, who ranked 4th with a time of 10.23 seconds. Of the 4 quarterfinalists, Atkins tied Indur for 14th place and advanced to the 16 August semifinals. Atkins competed in the first heat against, among other athletes, Dix and Usain Bolt. With a time of 10.13 seconds, Atkins finished in 6th place in his heat, behind St. Kitts and Nevis Kim Collins, who earned a time of 10.5 seconds, and ahead of Great Britain's Tyrone Edgar, who earned a time of 10.18 seconds. Overall, Atkins ranked 12th out of 16 athletes in semifinals and did not advance to the final round. Men's triple jump. Auburn University graduate and 2-time Olympian Leevan Sands, the cousin of Shamar Sands, was the sole Bahamian participant in the men's triple jump event. During the qualification round on 17 August, Sands was placed in the second heat against competitors that included Lai Yangtze of China, Anachi Achike of Great Britain, and Hector Fuentes of Cuba. Sands ranked 2nd in his heat of 20 athletes, jumping a distance of 17.25 meters. Lai, the heat leader, beat Sands by 0.5 meters, while Achike fell behind Sands by 0.7 meters. Overall, Sands ranked 5th out of the 39 participating athletes. He progressed to the final round on 21 August. During that round, Sands jumped a distance of 17.59 meters, medaling bronze behind silver medalist Phillips Idowu of Great Britain, who jumped 17.62 meters, and gold medalist Nelson Avard of Portugal, who jumped 17.67 meters. Men's 400 meters. Oral Roberts, University athlete Andretti Bain, two-time medalist and three-time Olympian Chris Brown, and Adidas-sponsored athlete Michael Mathieu participated in the men's 400 meters dash. 100 meters dash. Brown was placed in the second heat and finished first with a time of 44.79 seconds, ahead of second-place finalist Australian Joel Milburn. Bain was placed in the third heat and placed third out of 8 athletes after gaining a time of 45.96 seconds, placing behind Nigeria's Gade James, who finished with 45.49 seconds, and ahead of Fiji's Nico Vurikata, who finished with 46.32 seconds. Mathieu participated in the sixth heat and ranked third out of 8 athletes, earning a time of 45.17 seconds. He placed ahead of Jamaica's Michael Blackwood, who earned 45.56 seconds, and behind Trinidad and Tobago's Rennie Kwo, who earned 45.13 seconds. Out of all 56 athletes participating in the event, Chris Brown ranked first, Michael Mathieu tied Australia's Sean Rowe for 10th, and Bain ranked 31st. All three advanced to semifinals, which took place on 19 August. During the course of semifinals, Brown was placed in the first heat, Bain was placed in the second, and Mathieu was placed in the third. Chris Brown finished the event in 44.59 seconds, ranking second in the heat behind American Jeremy Werner and ahead of Belgian Kevin Borley. Bain completed the event in 45.42 seconds, placing seventh in his heat, ahead of Briton Andrew Steele and Nigerian Gade James. Mathieu completed the race in 45.56 seconds, placing sixth in his heat out of 8 competitors. Mathieu ranked ahead of seventh-place finisher Rowe and behind Congolese competitor Sengugari Kikea. Out of the 24 competitors who advanced to semifinals, Brown finished third, Bain finished 19th, and Mathieu finished 20th. Only Brown advanced to the final round on 21 August. Brown finished the event in 44.84 seconds, placing fourth behind the 3 American medalists LaShawn Merritt, Jeremy Werner, and David Neville. Men's 400 meters relay, Ayers relay, Ayers relay, Ayers relay, Ayers relay. The men's 400 meters relay included a Bahamian team that, in total, included 6 Bahamian athletes. Of those athletes, Avard, Moncur, and Ramon Miller participated only in the qualification round alongside Michael Mathieu and Andrae Williams. In the qualification round, which took place on 22 August, the Bahamian team participated on the second heat against the British, Jamaican, Trinidadian, Japanese, Greek, and Dominican teams. Overall, the Bahamian team ranked second in the heat with a time of 2:59.88 behind the British team, which earned a time of 2:59.33, and ahead of the Jamaican team, which earned a time of 3:0.9. Out of all 16 teams participating in the event, the Bahamian team ranked second. The Bahamas relay proceeded to the final round on 23 August. During the final round, the Bahamian relay replaced Avard, Moncur, and Ramon Miller with Chris Brown and Andretti Bain. Chris Brown started the relay, followed by Mathieu, Bain, and Williams. With a time of 2:58.3, the relay medaled silver behind the American relay, which earned 2:55.39 and set an Olympic record, and ahead of the Russian relay, which earned 2:58.6. Summary. Men, track and road events * runners who participated in the heats only and received medals. Field events. Women's competition. Women's 400 meters. Southeastern Louisiana University alumnus and 3-time Olympian Christine Amertil was the only Bahamian athlete participating in the women's 400 meters dash during the 2008 Summer Olympics. During the qualification round, which took place on 16 August, Amertil was placed in the first heat, which included 7 athletes. Among them were Jamaica's Rosemary White and Nigeria's Ajuk Ajumasu. Amertil ranked second in her heat, with a time of 51.25 seconds, between White first place at 51.0 seconds and Ajumasu third place at 51.39 seconds. Overall, Amartil ranked 10th out of 50 athletes. She advanced to the semifinal round. During the 17 August semifinal round, Amartil was placed in the second heat, which included American Sania Richards and Russian Anastasia Kapachinskaya. Amartil ranked 4th in the heat of 8 athletes, completing her event in 51.51 seconds. Jamaica's Javelin Williams ranked ahead of her third place at 51.6 seconds, and Nigeria's Joy Aimchias ranked behind her at 51.87 seconds. Out of the 24 athletes that progressed to semifinals, Amartil ranked 15th. She did not progress to the final round. Women's javelin throw and throw and throw and throw and throw. Five-time Olympian and former Louisiana State University athlete Leevan Sands, the oldest Bahamian athlete in the Beijing delegation, was the sole Bahamian participant in women's javelin throw. The event's qualification round, which took place on 18 August, included Eve in its second heat. During qualifications, Eve participated in 3 rounds. She threw the javelin 55.22 meters during the first round, placing 13th, and improved to 57.36 meters in her second round, placing 4th. She threw 55.15 meters the third round, but did not place. Out of the 27 participants in the heat, Eve's best time placed her 9th in the event between Cuba's Janet Cruz 58.6 meters on her best attempt and the Czech Republic's Jarmila Klimtsova 57.25 meters on her best attempt. Out of all 54 competitors in the qualification round, Eve ranked 20th. She did not progress to the final round. Women's 100 meters. Two-time Olympian Tamika Clark or Tamika Clark, two-time medalist and three-time Olympian Chandra Stirrup, and three-time medalist and four-time Olympian Debbie Ferguson-McKenzie participated in the women's 100 meters race. Clark was placed in the 6th heat, where she competed against athletes like Jamaica's Shelley Ann Fraser. Clark ranked 6th of 8 athletes in the heat when she ran the event in 12.16 seconds. Clark ranked 56th out of 85 athletes and did not progress. Stirrup, who competed in the 4th heat, defeated Trinidad and Tobago's Kelly and Baptiste and took first with a time of 11.30 seconds. Overall, Stirrup tied Great Britain's Jeanette Quackeye for 7th place. Ferguson participated in the 8th heat and completed the event in 11.17 seconds, ranking second behind Nigeria's Damola Asayomi, who earned first in 11.13 seconds. Ferguson placed second overall out of all combined heats. Both Stirrup and Ferguson progressed to quarterfinals, which took place later that day. Stirrup was placed in the second heat and completed the event in 11.16 seconds. Out of the 8 heat competitors, Stirrup ranked third behind Jamaica's Sharon Simpson 11.2 seconds and the United States' Mona Lee 11.18 seconds. Out of the 40 quarterfinalists, Stirrup ranked 9th. Ferguson competed in the 3rd heat and finished in 11.21 seconds and ranked first, defeating Asayomi 11.28 seconds and Ghana's Vide Anam 11.32 seconds. Overall, Ferguson placed 11th. Both progressed to semifinals on 17 August. Chandra Stirrup competed in the 1st heat of the semifinal round and finished the event in 11.22 seconds. She placed 5th behind Simpson 11.11 seconds, Lauren Williams 11.10 seconds, Mona Lee 11.6 seconds, and Fraser 11.0 seconds. Debbie Ferguson competed in the 2nd heat of the semifinal round. She also finished the event in 11.22 seconds and took 4th place immediately behind Quacka 11.19 seconds. The two athletes tied each other for 8th place out of 16 athletes, although Ferguson progressed to finals. At finals, which took place later on 17 August, Ferguson finished in 11.19 seconds and placed 7th in the event ahead of the United States' Tori Edwards 11.20 seconds and behind Quackeye 11.14 seconds. Women's 200 meters. The women's 200 meters freestyle had two competitors, Shaniqua Ferguson and Debbie Ferguson. Shaniqua Ferguson competed in the fifth heat of the 18 August qualification round, where she competed against athletes like Jamaica's Veronica Campbell 23.4 seconds, Mali's Kadia 2 Camara 23.6 seconds, and Russia's Natalia Rusakova 23.21 seconds. Shaniqua Ferguson ranked fourth in her heat, behind the aforementioned athletes. Overall, she tied Colombia's Darlene Obregon for 24th place out of the qualification round's 48 competitors. Debbie Ferguson, who was in the third heat, completed her race in 23.22 seconds and placed second. Out of all qualification round competitors, Debbie Ferguson placed 20th. Both Shaniqua and Debbie Ferguson progressed to the quarterfinal round, which took place on 19 August. Shaniqua Ferguson competed in the third heat. She finished last with a time of 23.61 seconds, falling behind seventh-place finalist Vincenzo Colli of Italy 23.56 seconds. The leader of her heat was Russian Yulia Chermyshenskaya 22.63 seconds. Shaniqua Ferguson ranked 29th out of the 32 athletes who progressed to quarterfinals. Debbie Ferguson was placed in the first heat and finished her event in 22.77 seconds behind American Allison Felix 22.74 seconds and Jamaican Veronica Campbell 22.64 seconds. She ranked 9th overall. Although Shaniqua Ferguson did not, Debbie Ferguson progressed to semifinals. Debbie Ferguson competed in the first heat during the 20 August semifinal round. She finished the dash in 22.51 seconds, ranking fourth behind American Mona Lee 22.29 seconds. Third place, Jamaican Karen Stewart 22.29 seconds. Second place, and Jamaican Veronica Campbell 22.19 seconds, first place. Out of the 16 semifinalists, Ferguson ranked 7th and progressed to finals. At the final round, which took place on 21 August, Ferguson ran her event in 22.61 seconds. She ranked 7th in her event overall ahead of the Cayman Islands' Sidoni Mothersill and behind Jamaica's Sharon Simpson. Women's long jump. Former Stanford University athlete and five-time Olympian the first four times for the United States, Jackie Edwards participated in the Olympics on behalf of the Bahamas in women's long jump. On 18 August, Edwards was placed in the second qualifying heat with 20 other people, including American Brittany Reese and Russian and eventual silver medalist Tatiana Lebedeva, who were the heat's leaders. However, Edwards did not receive a mark and thus did not score or rank in her heat. She was one of three athletes to receive no mark during the qualification round. The others were Slovakia's Jana Veldakova. Summary. Women. Men. Track and road events, field events. Boxing. The Bahamas qualified one boxer for the Olympic boxing tournament. Johnson qualified for the welterweight class at the second American qualifying event. Torino Johnson was the only boxer to participate on behalf of the Bahamas during the Beijing Olympics. He participated in the welterweight class, which includes competitors of a weight below 69 kilograms. Boxing preliminaries in Beijing took place on 10 August. Johnson was matched with Roland Moses of Grenada in the second bout of the round. Johnson scored 18 punches on Moses, while Moses only scored. Johnson advanced to the round of 16, which was staggered across several days. Torino Johnson challenged the Ukraine's Oleksandr Stretsky during the third bout on 16 August, scoring 9 punches on him and receiving 4 in return and defeating him. He advanced to quarterfinals on 17 August, where he challenged and was defeated by China's Hannati Salamu during the second bout. Johnson scored 4 punches on his opponent, who scored 14 in return. Swimming. Men's competition. Men's 50 meters freestyle. University of Kentucky student Elvis Burrows was the only Bahamian swimmer to participate in the 50 meters freestyle event during the Beijing Olympics. Burrows participated in the 8th heat of the event during the 14 August preliminary rounds. Other swimmers in his heat included Flory Lang of Switzerland and Jacinto de Jesus Ayala Benjamin of the Dominican Republic, who respectively took first and second in the heat. Burrows ranked 7th, completing his event in 23.19 seconds. Burrows ranked ahead of 8th place heat finisher Rolandas Gimbutis of Lithuania by 0.83 seconds, and behind 6th place heat finisher Francisco Picasso of Uruguay by 0.18 seconds. Overall, Burrows ranked 52nd out of 97 event participants. He did not progress to the semifinal rounds. Men's 100 meters butterfly. Former Auburn University athlete and 3-time Olympian Jeremy Knowles competed in 3 events at the Beijing Olympics: the 100 meters butterfly, the 200 meters butterfly, and the 200 meters individual medley. In the 100 meters butterfly, Knowles participated in the 3rd heat of the 14 August preliminary round, competing against athletes that included Israel's Alon Mandel and Lithuania's Rimvydas Salčius. Knowles ranked 3rd in his heat after completing the event in 53.72 seconds, falling behind Mandel by 0.27 seconds but beating Hungarian Adam Madrassi. Overall, Knowles ranked 49th out of 66 participating athletes and did not advance. Men's 200 meters butterfly. Jeremy Knowles' participation in the 200 meters butterfly took place during the 11 August preliminary round. He was placed in the 3rd heat, which was led by Hsu Chai-Chi of Taiwan and Pedro Oliveira of Portugal. Knowles completed the event in 2:1.8, placing 6th in the event. He fell behind Omar Pinzon of Colombia, who finished in 2:1.8, and ahead of Malaysia's Daniel Bigo, who finished in 2:1.28. Out of the 44 competitors in the preliminary round, Knowles ranked 35th. He did not advance to further rounds. Men's 200 meters individual medley. Knowles competed on behalf of the Bahamas in the 200 meters individual medley, an event that combines all the competitive swimming strokes. The event's preliminary round took place on 13 August. Knowles competed in the 3rd heat, which was led by Israel's Gel Nevo, Bulgaria's Mihail Alexandrov, and Greece's Ioannis Kokotis. Knowles ranked 4th in the heat with a time of 2:1.35, falling behind Kokotis, who completed the event in 2:1.22, but placing ahead of Croatia's Sasa Impric, who completed the event in 2:1.83. Out of the 47 competing athletes, Knowles placed 24th. He did not advance. Women's competition. Women's 100 meters backstroke. Canada-born Auburn University alumnus Alana Dillette was the only swimmer to participate in the women's 100 meters backstroke while representing the Bahamas at the Beijing Olympics. Dillette participated in the preliminary rounds of her event on 10 August, when she swam in the 3rd heat versus swimmers that included Colombia's Carolina Colorado and Israel's Anna Gostonsky, who ranked, respectively, 1st and 2nd in that heat. Dillette ranked 4th in the heat with a time of 1:2.56 behind Sweden's Sarius Jostrom by 0.24 seconds and ahead of Hong Kong's Hu Wai-Sherry Tsai by 0.12 seconds. Out of the total of 49 swimmers that took part in the preliminary rounds, Dillette ranked 32nd. She did not advance to semifinals later that day. Women's 50 meters freestyle. Auburn University student Ariana Vanderpool Wallace participated in 2 events at Beijing, the 50 meters freestyle and the 100 meters freestyle. In the 50 meters freestyle, preliminary rounds took place on 15 August. Vanderpool Wallace was placed in the eighth heat, which was led by Israel's Anna Gostonsky, Vanderpool Wallace, and the Czech Republic's Sandra Kazakova. She ranked second with a time of 25.40 seconds, whereas heat leader Gostonsky finished at 25.23 seconds, and third-place finalist Kazakova finished at 25.54 seconds. Overall, out of the 92 participating athletes, Vanderpool Wallace ranked 24th. She did not advance to later rounds. Women's 100 meters freestyle. Vanderpool Wallace's performance in the 100 meters freestyle took place during the preliminary round on 13 August. She was placed in the third heat, which included athletes like Hong Kong's Hannah Jane Arnott-Wilson and Austria's Birgit Kosciuszek. With a time of 55.61 seconds, Vanderpool Wallace placed second, behind heat leader Wilson, who finished at 55.32 seconds, and ahead of third-place finalist Kosciuszek, who finished at 55.62 seconds. Of the 49 participants, Vanderpool Wallace ranked 28th. She did not advance past preliminaries. Summary. Men qualifiers for the latter rounds of all events were decided on a time-only basis. Therefore, positions shown are overall results versus competitors in all heats. Women qualifiers for the latter rounds of all events were decided on a time-only basis. Therefore, positions shown are overall results versus competitors in all heats. Tennis. Mark Knowles, a five-time Olympian, and Devin Mullings participated in men's doubles tennis on behalf of the Bahamas. Their entrance constituted the only Bahamian participation in any tennis event and the only tennis entry by any nation in the Caribbean. The pair participated in the first match of the event's first round on 11 August, where they faced a team from the United States that included Bob and Mike Bryan. The Bryan brothers won 2 sets against the Bahamian team and defeated them, eventually winning the bronze medal in the event.